Thank you very much. I am Lamin Jai, and this is News Review. Coming up, businessmen are riled that police at Costa Road will not allow them to open their shops that are nowhere near the market there. Also, the Minister of Trade is dismissing claims President Adama Barrow gave instructions for the over $700 million foodstuff contract to be given to Abubakari Jawara. Also, Gambia Action Party Secretary General Moussa Yali, of course, is my guest today. But before all of this, we will quickly go through the papers and see what they are saying. I have the Standard. I also have the Point. Let's see what the Standard is saying. The Standard, their lead story is saying Senegalese diplomat charged with sex crime in the Gambia. Also, IEC, that's the Independent Electoral Commission on Brikama Area Council chairmanship crisis. Bakau warns allottees not to touch land given to them by government. New army commander appointed. GAP, that's Gambia Action Party, says Bojang's statement blown out of proportion. So let's see what they are saying. So according to the Standard, a diplomat at the Senegalese High Commission in the Gambia was last Monday arrested, detained and charged with defiling a girl. The diplomat, 41, is accused of raping a mentally challenged 17-year-old girl he resides in the same compound with in the Greater Banjul area. According to the Standard, the accused diplomat was detained at Karaba Police Station, but sources said he has been released since Thursday in line with the Vienna Convention on Diplomatic Relations there. According to the Standard, too, IEC speaks on Brikama Area Council chairmanship crisis. The communications director at the Independent Electoral Commission has said that it is not the role of his commission to declare an elective position vacant. What we do is to organize elections once we get a formal notification from the right authorities, Joseph Colley told Kerfado over the weekend. According to the Standard 2, Bakau warns allottees not to touch land given by government. The people of Bakau, under the aegis of the Bakau Community Development Committee, have warned Banjulians who were recently allocated compensatory plots in the Cape Point extension layout to stay away and not erect even a single brick in the allocations granted to them by the government. So also on the Standard, NAM donates 2 months' salary to fight COVID-19. Omar Sise, the opposition Gambia Democratic Party, NAM, for Nyamina East, has donated his 2 months' salary again to support the fight against COVID-19 in his constituency there. I think that's that for the Standard. Let's see what this Point is saying now. According to their lead story, cross-border continues around Kerjang or Kerjang despite closure. Prosecution to call 3 more witnesses in Yankuba Toure's trial. New promotions at GAF, that's the Gambia of Armed Forces there. Senegal registers 64 fresh cases of COVID-19. Gambian oppositions can't defeat Barrow in 2021 elections. So according to the Point, information has reached the point that despite the official closure of Gambia's borders with neighboring Senegal, many still continue traveling through Kerjang village in the Lower Nome district to get in and out of the two countries. That's according to the Point there. Also, the Point is reporting that State Counsel A.M. Yusuf yesterday told the High Court in Banjul before Justice Ibrahim Jaite that the prosecution would call 3 more witnesses in the murder case involving Yankuba Toure. He added that they received a call from the TRRC that they are putting more effort to produce the statement requested by Defense Counsel Sissoho there. Yankuba Toure is actually standing trial for the murder of former Gambian Finance Minister Usman Koro Sise there. New promotions at GAF. Colonel Usman Gomez, the Gambia Armed Forces Provost Marshal, Military Police Chief, and legal advisor to the Chief of Defense Staff, has been appointed new commander of the Gambian Army. Colonel Gomez, the new commander, is preparing to defend his second master's degree thesis on peace and conflict resolution at International Christian University in Japan. Meanwhile, Colonel Turo Jaune, former commanding officer of the State Guard Battalion, has been named as new commander of the Republican National Guard, while Colonel Seth Njai, until his new appointment, was the Director of Training and Doctrine at the Defense Headquarters in Banjul. So according to the point also, Fafa Cisse, a Gambian businessman who is also a politician, has underscored the unprecedented development of the Gambia under the leadership of President Adam Barrow and continues to register in the country, arguing that Gambian opposition cannot defeat Barrow in the 2021 presidential elections. So Moussa Yali Bachili is one of the opposition leaders there. So maybe I'll put this question to him there, whether they will really be able to wrest power from President Barrow at next year's election. But we will take a quick break and then return. Thank you. So sub-owners at Costa Road stretch today went to the police station there at Costa Road to show their anger at the police, who they are accusing of overzealousness. They are saying that the police are not allowing them to open their shops that are nowhere near the market there. Let's take a listen to what some of the business people there are saying.
La Costa Road fini Jobis Enterprise. Waluma inilo station fini tay moy dañu gis lu ñu naxare because gadi len tejlo suba be 2 o'clock ñu tej te ñu ngi 300 meters away from the market te luwa bi mu ne kep ko amne ya nga 100 meters away from the market you have to right to open so gadi len tejlo ñu ci market bi te ñu almost 300 meters away ñom sam confirm nañ lool te da ngay gis ne area like Jimpex dugé ñu be Serekunda be Bartes be ñu Tontable bidig yoy yeb den ubi be dem Brikama yeb den ubi so Costa Road rek lañ de tejlo te ñun suñu tëjee suñu customer yëpp foofu la ñuy dem because they will not wait us gars ñu xaar te suñu fa demee ñun 2 o'clock su open benn customer duñ ko dee am mel ni jos ñu ngi wee suñu taay te on that ñu ngi fay suñu house renting ñu ngi fay suñu water bill ñu ngi fay electricity ba pare ñu ngi war a génne dépense ba pare jaaloo dara bi ñu ne gars ñu ngi gëstu ñu ngi def suñu life so hard boo xam ne bi kaanut am nga loolu moo ma indi loo tey fi complain
dama am fii ñaari bitik dama am benn bu jege marché bi dama am benn more than 200 meters from after the market. So amon na time gars ñu wax ñu ne ñu tëj so ñu ñëwoon fii nii eso bi mu ne ñu bitik yu sori marché bi after 100 meters dañu wax ne yooyu waru ñoo tëj so yu jege marché bi nañ tëj so after man dama tëjoon fii nii ñu toog fii nii for some time ñu toog rek ñu ñëw ñu ne ñu bitik yëpp nañ tëj so bitik yëpp léegi dañ leen dee tëjoo more than 300 meters from the market ñu ngay tëj so ñu dem Serekunda ak Jimpex lu ko wër su fekkee ne comme ñu ngi daw ay feebar bi soo ñëwee si marché bi marché bi moo gën a cokop soo demee Jimpex foofu la gan yi nekk ñu ngi tukki di ñëw indi yéen lu nekk te ñooñu dañu ubbi te marché boobu moo gën a nekk marché bu mag si dëkk bi te ñu ngi ubbi soo demee Serekunda nga ñëw ba Bartes commencé from Bartes ñu ngi ubbi te ñooñu tamit dañ nekk si boori marché bi soo ñun fii léegi ñun nangu nañ ci biir marché bi lu ñu wax lu président bi wax nañ tëj waaye lu tax police yi fii ñu toog ñu ne ñu léegi after 100 meters after the market léegi loolu nekkatu si loi bi te ñun dañ ko dégg si radio yi ñu dégg ko ñu wax ñu ko si radio yi ñoom yi neen fii ñu toog ñu ne loolu amatul soo léegi ñun ñu ngi nekka suñu yeneen bitik yi man nangu naa tëj fii nii waaye suñu bitik yu nekka si boori essencerie bi fële yu nekk area bi soo léegi lu tax ñu dégg si radio bi président bi mu annonce ne after 100 meters nañ ubbi léegi ñoom ñu tëb rek ñu tëjloo ñu yooyu noonu te ñun dégguñ ko si radio dégguñ te soo ñëwee fii nga laaj koo mun di laaj daf la dee wax ne loolu du suñu yoon understand soo te ñoom soo ubbee dañ la dee téye te soo téye suñu la téye doo dee am foo dee complain dañ la dee ñëw teg la ne la kenn na la biil wala nga joxe dara
ngam be nga président la dia mo moy ñamin kabirin ibe falendiri fulanjango kala comme mol nyanta bitikol yela la watol minna ani nyanta solon na wato minna anin meter nangamo mem nyanta bitikol ning marasel tema kabira woke modol la bitikol min ya lon kon tol la bitikol be damin ne ma fangala wotar la fo min tambita 300-400 kilometers la so bar hanu polisul kanale ka fu mole ko bitiko nyanta soronnale niya yele like somanda or before 2 o'clock so ka nyanta le kabu 2 o'clock kata fo janning 6 o'clock and wo wato wo ka talal dum mo jamal fanalu wolu ñin sunkaro kono batata ibe sey kan so kono so ntolbe wala situation kono andon comme na jeroto Gambia karo be bitiko min be Gambia from carton fo koyna a bela bitiko be le rene minni man taran nakiri marasela ani minni be marché fango dala fang be bota 100 meters kono bitikol be le rene Gambia kono nte fango yaitale Gambia ton kongo mume be to minni be combo ala nyim maraselu mume be ni marasel dende nyalla ibe be le rene ndella kumo keta menti wala nyinti ko ning president ko mole minni be marché dala ka bo 100 meters e bantala ila ise yele nole comme dimpex ñol be ñamin anin dula kotangol minni ya lonko wala mu nin wafudula balleti wala kay le no damin anin bitikol minni be silol dende ñala wala be le tano ñamin woto malla la coastal road la bitikol minni bije minni be marché 300-400 meters wala ñanta soronna ni wo restriction no nata ngamira ñanta mol bele kovala in the Gambia bara manyanna section do kovala aka special section also within the tiny area of Gambia ikafoko wol nyanta soronnale anda luwa bota dami wolwa mol dakalle because president wala foro minke anin saferol minni keta new sulta fata kangol min mume bela 100 meters ni tambita wala makaba marché bala o bitikol seyren wala
de ñewagun bi mo sin first time ñew dañ gis ne seen gaay ñoy so demé la Turkunda gaay ñu ngi ubbi nga dem Serekunda gaay ñu ngi ndu mbir kama non waye ñi ne 100 meters ñin fi ak marché bi ëpp na 100 meters ñi ñe tejlo loolu leen bëgg xam lan moko waral te président dafa non ku xam 100 meters ni mom nga ubbi ku xam ne yaangi jégué ki marché bi koku mom man ne la tej ba to waaw lu tax ñi am 100 meters ñi ne tejlo loolu leen bëgg xam moy lan fekke benen problème mo nek ci biir ñi xam fekke den bëgg def yeneen njunja ci suñu bit ñi xam loolu dara
la Costa Rica.
Thank you. So the Ministry of Trade has dismissed claims that President Adama Barrow gave instructions for the over $700 million foodstuff contract to be handed or given to Abubakari Jawara. Abubakari Jawara is actually a very powerful businessman who owns Gach Group and is reportedly a close friend of President Adama Barrow as well as his financier. And he was present when President Adama Barrow launched his government's food relief package there in Banjul on Sunday. Reports later abounded that Mr. Jawara and his sister were the ones who were given the exclusive right to deliver rice, sugar and oil to the government to distribute to Gambians there. So the Trade Ministry Permanent Secretary Lamin Damfa is dismissing these reports as untrue. This is what he told the Fado Network.
You also have to understand we are looking at two levels. The other level is we have a percentage that you wanted to allocate, so that that could be presented as a form of a symbol at the how do you call it, Market Square. Because if the president wants to talk about this, he has to show something to Gambians that the government is ready. But the government is ready to do this, and government is ready.
In a haste, in a rush to do that when these contracts have not been approved.
That also went through a process. That the ones that you saw at Magasco also went through a process, and that process, and that was only given to small players. That was no big player was involved in that. That was why you could even see when we asked the small suppliers to supply, they even were struggling because some were bringing 1,000, some were bringing 2,000, some were bringing 3,000. Because we don't want, we want this benefit to spread. We don't want the big players to monopolize it. And that was why we mobilized certain number of small players. There is no big player that was involved. We only mobilized small players, and there are a number of them that were involved to supply, so that can support that particular event, and becomes part of the process. But it does not mean that, because what we planned in the papers, it was one person who supplied everything, but the contract was exclusively given to that. That's not the case. These were given to governments, then these are small players. Many of them are even women. Majority of them who supply were even women.
So how many people applied and how many people did you approve? After your evaluation, of course?
Our evaluation, we have 44 people applied, 44 businesses applied. And we awarded 34 businesses. Only 10 could not qualify. And if you look at that, because if you look at the total number of people who have applied and the quantity that I've stated, it's over 1 million. In terms of rice, the quantity is more than 1 million. If you look at sugar, it's also over 1 million. And we are looking at something around 230,000. Then now, if you have 1 million, you cannot absorb that. Then you have to eliminate some other people. And we use a very transparent criteria that eliminate some people, that could not succeed, in order to be able to get to the threshold that we want. And that's what we... Yeah, one of the most important criteria is that the price that you quote, should not be very much higher than the price that, we have as our ceiling, because we have a ceiling. And this ceiling also varied. If you look at the...
In terms of rice, for example, what
was your ceiling?
The rice, our ceiling was 1,250 per bag. And sugar was 1,450. And this is only for small businesses. That's not for the importers. Importers, we quoted a lower price for them. Just to make sure that, the small businesses, because our assumption is that these small businesses will go to this importer to take it. Then when they go there and take it, they will still have a margin. And that's why we make that price differences. But the importers that participate, they don't need to go to anybody to buy it and have that margin, because it's with them. They are the owners of the stock. Then that's the reason why we have that differential margin, prices. Then you have one for the small businesses, that is the retailers, so that because we don't only want them to participate, but we also want them to participate so that they benefit from this as a stimulus, so that they can also, within this period, they can also be able to support their business. No, this is not true. Because the president was not in charge of the process. Then how can he exclusively give the contract to Fatoumata Jawara and Abubakar Jawara? I know both of them. I know Fatoumata Jawara. I know Abubakar Jawara. I know both of them.
Part of the people that got approved, that one?
Abubakar Jawara, his business is Gaj, and Gaj has not applied.
How about
Fatoumata Jawara?
Fatoumata's business, because it's a small business player, and it belongs to a women group, and the women group has applied. The women's group has applied.
And they won?
Yes, I think one or two of the groups applied. They won. Because some women, they come together and apply. So it was also part of a group of women that also applied.
And they won?
And they won, yes. Because we gave preferences to women. There's certain points that we agree that women should have. Because we want to encourage them, and they won. And also, looking at all the criteria that we set, they've satisfied. You also have to understand.
TAF Africa Global is proud to launch the Moria Gardens, conveniently located in Bruford, 5 minutes off the Bruford Highway. Moria Gardens is set to comprise of 20 fenced and gated service plots with sizes ranging from 264 to 420 meters square. Unique features include water and electricity infrastructure, solar street lights, all wet roads and scenic gardens. We offer a 10-year mortgage plan with a 25% equity down payment in partnership with GT Bank, Trust Bank and Eco Bank. For more information, please contact 376-2333 or 776-2333 or visit our offices at Madiba Mall at TAF Gardens, opposite 5-Star Hotel.
Thank you very much. The Permanent Secretary at the Trade Ministry, Mr. Lamin Damfa, speaking to us there regarding claims that President Barrow gave exclusive rights to his friend there, Mr. Abubakar Jawara, to deliver rice, sugar, and oil to the government for distribution to Gambians. Now I am joined by my guest, Mr. Moussa Yali Bachili, the leader or the Secretary General of Gambia Action Party. Mr. Bachili, thank you for coming.
Thank you. I will take this great opportunity to say Ramadan Mubarak, especially greetings to the President and his cabinet, the IGP, Minister of Interior, the IC Chairman with his executives, and I'm greeting my flag bearer, my executive too. I'm saying Ramadan Mubarak to all Secretary Generals of political party that exists in Gambia, and I'm saying Ramadan Mubarak to the children who are in the hospital, and the sick people too, the ones in jail, and the blind people. And I'm greeting the whole entire Gambia, inside Gambia and outside Gambia. Said I wish them happy Ramadan Mubarak.
Mr. Bachili, we are in a crisis, a health, economic, or even social crisis, the coronavirus pandemic. We have seen our political leaders being very, active in respect of the response there. But they've been also spoken a lot, but we have not been hearing from you a lot. What have you been up to?
Well, actually, the flag bearer was acting on behalf of the party, and then we've been sensitizing all over from Khartoum to Lebanon. So it's separation of powers here. It's not only Bachili has to come on the limelight. So the secretary, the flag bearer was doing the job on behalf of the party.
What is your assessment, or what do you make of the crisis? Let's start from there, this coronavirus pandemic. What do you make of it as a political leader?
Well, this is a global sickness called the superpowers. It started from China. This kind of pandemic happens even during the time of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We have to respect the sickness and the laws of the country. If the government gives us to stay in-house, indoor, we should stay indoors, follow the regulation. But you cannot tell somebody who's hungry to stay indoors. There must be logistic given by the government so that they can distribute. The rice that came a couple of days ago, totally, I'm grateful, but we want to know where the money come from. Who sponsor? If it's the government should tell us, we get these funds from where? From JRA, from the institution that generate income for the country. Or if there's a genuine philanthropist who donate, we should know his name or her name.
Yesterday, I spoke with the permanent secretary there at the Minister of Trade, and what he said is that this came from government revenues. Government collects tax, and this is where this money came from.
But we should know which institution. If the collect tax is called collective taxes, or just one institute generated from, we should know. They should tell the masses the money belongs to the Gambians. Even when they generate it, they should come and say, look, we created a fund, or we generated a fund from the institution of all the institutions in Gambia. We generated about $4 million, for example, $2 million, and we are ready to supply you guys with basic commodities. But they didn't. And secondly, we're not here, party gap, not here to criticize, but we are here to change ideas for the betterment of the country. If this pandemic is global pandemic, Mr. President, like Senegal, due respect to Senegal, President Macky Sall called all the opposition leaders. They went and sat with him. He said, I want to do this. They said, no, the best thing is this and this. And he implemented. But our president, he never did that. He just came up with his cabinet. They're just trying to do things which is out of range.
You think that was not right?
That's not right.
What is right then?
He should call all the political secretary generals, we said, with him. This is a global thing. This is not about individual or a government thing. It's a global thing. We share ideas.
Why do you think the president chose to do it his own way by not, doing the way Senegal did it? For example, by inviting political, why do you think that the president said, no, I'm not going to invite them. I'm going to do it the way I want it to be done.
If you believe that Gambia is at your heart, the seat that he's sitting on doesn't belong to him. The will is the Gambian will. And the Gambian people will choose whoever want to sit there when we go through election. So now, it is up to him to call us. That's the genuine way. But if you want to choose according to his own way, to me it's like he want to bring politics in this.
He wants to politicize it. Is
Absolutely.
that what you are saying?
That's what I believe.
Do you think the president has any regard for political parties or opposition in this country at all, especially the smaller political parties? I mean, because for Gambia Action Party, I mean, even I think a few weeks ago, I interviewed your presidential candidate, and what he said is that you wrote to the president, but the president never got back to you.
Absolutely.
Never got back to you. Meaning, the president doesn't really care when it comes to parties such as yours.
Mr. Jai, I like that question. There's a certain word in Wolof. If you belittle me, that means you don't know what's going on earth. There's no small party here.
Really?
There's no small party here. There's no big party here. There's long-term party, 22 years in existence. Yes, long range. Short-term party, 2 years, 1 year. We can understand that. But there's no small party. The heart belongs to God. Yes. And the Gambians, they listen to people now. Sell your agendas, sell your mission, your visions, and if the heart belongs to God, and when you talk to people, they could understand the reality, they vote in. There's no small party. If the president thinks GAP is a small party, I think let him reconsider. Because the seat that he sit on the next government is us, inshallah.
The next government is GAP.
Yes.
When you say that, people laugh, you know that?
Well, people, how can they laugh?
They find that funny.
It's not funny. This is an institution. We paid $1 million to form an institution for the betterment of the country. We follow all the requirements. Allah help us, we registered. When if Mr. President Barrow sit me and him one-on-one alone, let's talk about the vision. Or Mr. President Barrow sit with our flag bearer, let's talk about the vision. Debate on vision. People will know who's small and who's big when it comes to the capacity for the betterment of the country.
Overall, what do you make of the government's response, President Barrow's response to the coronavirus crisis? What do you make of it?
Well,
has he been handling it well, or what do you think?
Well, yeah, this is global pandemic, so there should be no criticism. Like I told you, he should have called the party leaders, all the secretary generals. We sit and share ideas. It will be better than this. But I'm congratulating them because this is a thing, it's a sickness. I cannot criticize people or leaders, but I'm telling him he should have called the leaders, and then we sit with him, change ideas, and then we come to the masses. Inshallah, it will have been better than this. Because my brother, look at people. 90% of Gambians are daily incomers. If you want to lock them 45 days, they turn hungry. And when they turn hungry without something to eat, they become rebel. They will come and expose.
What do you make of that there, the state of emergency?
The
do you think it was necessary at all?
It is necessary, but it was not calculated properly. If we empower, if Gambia actually we are empowered with unity government, it would have been different.
What would you have done?
Well, we will call the logistic. We raise the phone, call the logistic from Katu to Wilibana, strategize it the way it's supposed to be, advance, and then inform people in next 30 days, it's going to be a state of emergency. So we look at the masses, not the rich people, the masses who need to be surviving, we help them. And my brother, this should be like if the government...
In what way are you going to help them?
The help, if we empower, we empower our indigenous businessmen and women. When this crisis comes, they help the government. Like in Mauritania, some billionaires in Mauritania, they help the government. Some billionaires in Senegal, they help. Oh, look, the $15–20 million that they found before receiving is a long time. If the Mauritanian businessman close their business now, and the Lebanese close their business now, and the Indian close their business now, Gambia will suffer for 1 year. When GAP is power, we will empower our indigenous businessmen, make them billionaire in dollars, turn into multi-millionaire in dollars. Operation New Mom Sumboba. Let's own ourselves. Let's help our youth.
How is that Operation New Momsun Bopa, how is that different from Operation Nyaele?
Operation Nyaele Kabe Janjang. Operation Nyaele Kabe Janjang is all about mindset, a positive mindset and a good heart. Then the truth can be seen. But Operation New Mombopa, let's feed ourselves. Go back to agriculture. We have export in our agriculture. All we need to empower them. Then I call it commercial agriculture. You know, empower our youths. They start from the fishing. Any type of food that we have to consume. Yes. The best food that we eat is findi. Findi, chere, you understand, dugub. Yes. Yeah, these are the quality food. Very important for all the foods that we eat. We don't know where they're coming from. Look at the oil, my brother. Look at the 20-liter gallon oil. It looks like a kerosene. You understand? Look, back in the days, 50 years ago, or 100 years ago, our grandfathers, when they eat them cherry, them feeding them dugub, they go up to 80 years and they're still breathing. You and I'm sorry, my brother, one time, one round, your wife is starting knocking, say, I'm tired because of the food that we're consuming. Little kids, the future leaders of tomorrow are getting sick because of food they're eating. Operation New Momsun Bopa, we go back to our land, grow what we eat organic and eat what we grow organic by empowering our indigenous businessmen. Look at the fishing. The Chinese are coming here. Basically, I have no problem with the Chinese, my brother. Corporate social responsibility, that's our foreign policy as GAB. We work but Gambia first interest, Gambia one. In China, I don't care, Mr. Njai, even if you own $1 trillion per day, you cannot own a home in China. I'm urging Mr. President, I'm not saying when we come in power, we GAP or unity government under the leadership of GAP, we will look at into our land. This is a small country. It's a very small country landscape-wise, 2 million population. Our land should not be sold to any foreigners. They can lease it. How can foreigners come on our land, say, build massive houses here, even the Gambia, indigenous Gambia, they don't have homes. Majority of the Gambians are renting. Under this global pandemic, the owners of the houses, they are pressurizing our tenants, Gambian tenants. I'm urging all these people who own house and rental the places to the Gambia, take it easy. I'm not saying they should not pay you rent, but give them a due respect up to 90 days, end of July. Grace period. You understand? So now coming to empower our youths. My brother, tomorrow futures are the youths, the children. When we come back to the ECOWAS, the way I'm calculating not only Gambia, ECOWAS, the population of ECOWAS is more bigger than American population. And ECOWAS is richer than the United States, resources-wise. Federal Reserve Bank of America doesn't belong to the United States. It's an individual corporate people, man, who owns the reserve. Yes. They control the United States. So we control our own reserve by ECOWAS, regional ECOWAS leaders should believe in themselves. Our leaders are puppet. Majority of our leaders, they don't care about our people. They care about their pockets and they subdue to the imperialist.
Is President Barrow part of those?
Mr. Barrow, due respect to him.
He is part of that.
Gambia is a sovereign country. There's no small president. There's no big president. There's a small country and big country. If President Barrow, we find out he's playing with our sovereignty, we will call for new revelation in a positive way. How? We have our nuclear weapon. That's the voter's card. We wait for him 2020 and we kick him out.
That's what you call the new revolution?
The new revolution. There should not be chaos. My man, if you believe that you are confident, there should be no chaos. Believe in yourself. The voter's card is our nuclear weapon. That belongs to us.
But do you realize that the president is getting popular in some quarters? Do you realize that?
What kind of popular?
There are a lot of people that believe in the president and think that he's doing a good job.
Well, tell me, 4 years in power, 4 years in power. My brother, 4 years in power. We cannot even feed ourselves. And we are rich, resources-wise.
But President Barrow never promised that he was going to ensure that we feed ourselves.
But Mr. President Barrow said the rice will go to $700 during their campaign. Coalition government. And they promise. If you fulfill your promise, whoever break promises, let's think twice about them. And my brother, I have evidence proof. Hear me out. Some ministers, they know themselves. They own houses in Dakar. Document in my palm. I'm waiting for the right time. The money belongs to Gambians and the masses. Let them return.
Are you accusing these people of stealing our money and shipping it to Senegal?
I don't know whether they're stealing or not, but they bought houses in Dakar. 8 of them.
But you are saying that this is our money.
This is our money. How can some of the ministers, they were renting before they came into power? They ain't got no money. They know themselves. How could a public figure, the money they own before they came into power, if it's $1, if it is $1, borrow the money he owns now, before he became a president, if his capital is $1 million, fine, that belongs to him. But the moment he stepped in the state house, they call him, borrow, you are the president, elected president of Gambia. Whatever he earns doesn't belong to him, it belongs to the masses. We're not here to enrich ourselves. We are here for the betterment of the country. My brother, let's go back to our poultry farm. Look at the eggs we are consuming now. We don't know where the eggs coming from. Some indigenous businessmen and women are here. Let's empower them. Our strategy is by the age of 12, from Kato to Wulibana, educational system. We will groom all the kids to have skills, from nutrition skills, to the agriculture, to science and technology, to bureaucracy. We will teach you from age of 12. By the time you graduate 18, you are competent. Competent plus competent equal to what? Effective impact.
Success.
Yes, success. And then we will create universities here, technology university, import quality teachers who knows the game to take the game at age of 12. And now we will have teachers too. When we have, there must be logistic. My brother, 55 years, I call it 50 years of independence. 1965, I don't call it independence. I call us a republic from 1970. Gambia, we are rich. River Gambia alone. Why the Chinese are coming into our sea?
You have a problem with Chinese,
Yes.
and you have been advocating for the suspension of relations between Gambia and Senegal.
Okay.
Gambia and China, sorry.
Okay, now, 60 billion pledge. Do you know how many billionaires we have in Africa? Why all African leaders has to jump from how many hours? Private jets, commercial flight, go to Beijing. And we look at them. It's China, Africa, AU relationship. Gave us $60 billion loan. I called it a joke. But when they go to Dangote, some billionaires in South Africa, some billionaires in Mali. How about our resources that we have? The gold, the diamond, the platinum. We mine them, we sell them international rate, we generate that income. That's why I say ECOWAS region, SADC, East Africa, North Africa, yes. Join hands. It's like EU type. EU, they stole that idea from AU, Kwame Nkrumah. You understand? So China, I'm not having problem with them. I'm having problem the way it's called the new invasion. They're coming to invade us. If we don't mind, Operation Nyele Kabe Janja, that's the time come now. You see, in Mozambique, you know, I travel a lot. In next 10 years, if Allah don't help Mozambique be colonized by the Chinese. They are more populated now. They are coming up. They open shops around, selling retail. How can an indigenous people sell? And they will damage the local capacity. When they damage the local capacity now, you understand, we have no choice to obey and subdue. Now the price will jack. Material from Africa, processed in China, back to Africa. Look at the qualities. The qualities they're making for United States and European and Africa. And we are 1.3 billion population. Yes. Manpower capacity. We have sun from January to December. My brother, look at it. We have the capacity. I'm urging all the Africans who live in diasporas and they are competent. They know all. They have all the skill, from agricultural skills to financial skills, medical skill. You name it. I'm urging them, let them sacrifice, because I know the payment, the salary. They then start and return to their respective countries, ready to develop Africa. Let's unite. You understand? Gambians that are outside Gambia, I'm urging you guys who are competent, who got the capacity to run the show, come. The government will pay you based by merits. Or you have patience when gap in power, we pay you guys by merit so that we can succeed. If our tomorrow kids are not empowered, the children, my brother, even you and I in our graveyard, we will cry until our neck bone comes out from our head. China 1970, China 1960, what they got? Nothing. There's no resource in China. They believe in themselves. Now they are superpower. Global war, financial. You understand? They're using their brain. They are now more intelligent than us. Africans are brilliant. You try an African in Japan. Some of my Sarahulis from Garawal Street, they don't know ABC. They're in Japan, they're millionaires now. So Africans, what is our problem? Our problem is unity, corporate greed. We don't believe in ourselves, but with the help of Allah, the new generation coming, Operation Yali Kabe Janja, will succeed. I'm urging Mr. President to reconsider the contract they have with China. Chinese, I respect them, they're human beings. But corporate social responsibility, it's not yours, it's ours. You do what we say. In China, my brother, you go. Don't let me talk, man.
Now, let us talk about, let's narrow the conversation to the suffering that Gambians have been going through in this crisis. It's been massive. And what we have seen is that organizations, individuals, and now even the government rolling out various initiatives to really support Gambians in terms of, as a way of offsetting or reducing or lessening whatever suffering or pain that they are going through. What is your party doing in this regard?
Well, we actually helping people day and night. We're not here for publicity, my brother. We have a media team. When we go help people, we're waiting the right time to put it so that people can. It's not about to show off. It's not about showing off.
So are you saying that those that would normally post whatever that they are doing are just so enough? So
look at the Indian community coming. They separate this small quota. If we empower indigenous businessmen and women, they will give the Gambians for free. Giving rices for free is not the matter. Empowering them to be independent is the matter. My brother, look at economic independence and political independence are totally different. Can I come in?
Yes.
If you are political independence and you know economic independence is a zero mileage. When China is coming to Africa here, they bring their drivers, they bring their truck drivers, they bring their operator planter drivers, they surveys, their engineers. Do you want to tell me we don't have surveyors, competent surveyors in Africa? Confident plant operators in Africa?
Of course.
Why are they bringing their people here? You know why? Because they don't want to they don't care about us. They say we spend our money, we'll do it the way we want. No, it doesn't work that way. You need our product. We sell it according to standard. Corporate social response. You don't want that? Bye-bye. People want it. All the countries want it. This is the problem. If our government from Dawda South, may Allah forgive him, empower our indigenous businessmen and women, by this time, my brother, I'm not
You're talking about empowerment there, and one can really link that to the issue of unemployment. What we have seen is that our youth, a lot of our youth are unemployed. And we've seen the Vice President speaking just 2 days ago, saying that, there are jobs, but Gambians really don't want to engage in those jobs.
Can you give it that proof? Can she, do respect to her, can she bring the proof there's a job? My brother.
But she said they found the issue of manual work, labor, a challenge when they were offloading the rice and sugar at the McCarthy Square. That no Gambian youth was there to really do that kind of job. What do you have to say about that?
Okay, to me, it's a bogus.
You say bogus, what do you mean?
It doesn't make sense. Our Gambian youths are not lazy. You cannot promise me something 2-3 years ago. You fooled me. And now you're coming to fool me? That's why I tell the youths to be patient. I'm not here for political gain. I'm here for reality. Before you tell your youths to come and offload them manual load, do you feed them? Do you create opportunity before that comes? NPP, they got youths.
How do you know they got youth?
Well, they said they got youth. Like you said, he's having a popularity. Why won't they call the MP? If GAP, the one who is in power, with that law, my brother, you see all the youth from all corners of the country. They offload it and we will give them, we cannot pay them. Because this is natural global pandemic. It's not about creating a job for them. They're helping us. So we give them proper incentive. Because the rice belongs to the masses. We will ask the masses, do rice, come and help us. If they go and talk to the masses, look, this rice is for us. We are here for you guys. And you guys are here for us. Can you kindly, and after you come with your name, they'll offload it. But when you talk to them, Gambian kids are lazy. You are insulting our future leaders. Remember those young youths, lazy, are the one who put you in power.
But she never said they are lazy. She only said that, stopped at saying that they are not willing to take up jobs. That it is a dignified jobs, but Gambian youth don't want to.
What kind of dignified job do we have, Mr. Njai? Tell them, prove it, bring it on television. Bring it on television. That's we have this, all the jobs empty. Do you, which proof? There's no proof. Pan. We don't need more pan. I respect
what do we need?
We need impact, action. The youths of Gambians, I have high regards for them. They are brilliant. We have scientists in them. We have skillful people in there, both female and males. Look at the vegetables we are eating. Are the women? Are they empowering those women? They are not. We have the River Gambia from January to December. Empower them. And you go and buy houses in Dakar, millions of dollars turned into millions of CFAs. And the car they're driving, when you sell it $600 to $1 million, they cannot even bear proper chairs in the classroom. They know what I'm talking about, man. I'm urging the Mr. President, I'm not accusing, I have evidence, and if they push me, I'll bring it on.
But they are not pushing you.
But I'm telling them.
But you are sitting on the evidence.
Yes, I'm sitting. I'm waiting.
You should bring this.
No, wait,
especially journalists. You should give this evidence and proofs to.
My brother, we are
very important.
We are Gambians. We should suture each other.
No, but this is not about suture. This is a very serious issue.
Yes,
allegation. The fact that there is massive corruption on the part of the government, they are stealing public resources, public funds at the expense of Gambians. When you go to a classroom, you don't find any proper chair, like you said. That is a serious issue, and you have evidence, you have proof to back this up. You should not sit on that. You should give it to journalists.
My brother, I will give it to journalists when the right time comes.
When is that right time?
The right time is I'm telling them to sell the properties and bring the money back. I'm giving them time. My brother, everybody's convict, man, in the eyes of Allah. You give them chance. You and I, we are confident. You do some mistake to Allah that you don't want nobody to know. You go, you make tawbah. But if you keep doing it, Allah will be mad at you. So I'm giving them warning.
So are you working by the law of God here, the law of Allah here?
The whole entire world should walk on because He's the owner of the seven heavens. The air that you breathe on, who give it to you? Is America give you the air you breathe on? No, it's God. So we tell them, God said, Zahar al-Fasada, corruption on the sea and on the land, that they use their hands to do it. I'll make sure that they test it in order for them to return. If they don't return, they will feel the consequence. I'm telling you, whoever bought, they know themselves, who bought houses in Dakar. They know themselves. I'm telling you, I'm vividly telling you guys, we have evidences on the table. If they challenge me, we bring it on. Sell those houses back and bring the money to the country. It doesn't belong to you.
Now let us talk about. Okay, go ahead.
Let me come on the fishing game, the River Gambia. I'm urging the president to stop with the Chinese right now.
You don't want the Chinese to fish in our waters?
We can buy trawlers. If the Chinese want to work with us, corporate social responsibility, let them bring all the equipments that we needed. It's for sale. We calculate it. We go to the Minister of Finance, bring the budget. That the whole equipments, maritime education equipment for all, it costs about $20 million, for example. That's $1 billion. There's the budget. Bring the Chinese, the engineers or the expert in their fishing game with our expert, and the youths who are interested. There's a lot of youths who are interested in fishing. We train them. They enter in the sea, fish our fish, bring it back here. The other youths will do the processing plant. Yes. The Chinese, what they want, and they will sell according to international market. It benefits us. But to leave them, they are building their own trawlers in Gambia. What for? Did they hear Gambian government owns Gambian trawler?
Not really.
No, my brother, it's hard. The Chinese trying to colonize the whole Africa. We will never agree over our dead body. I'm calling the AU. I'm calling the ECOWAS. I'm calling the SADC. I'm calling the eastern part of Africa. I'm calling the north. Let's unite. Call our diaspora's intelligence. Join hands with them. Let's move Africa. It's high time to rise. If not, our children will suffer and they will be colonized and become the slave of the superpowers, so-called the superpowers.
Now let's talk about the response there. There is no end in sight in respect of this crisis. Nobody knows when it is going to blow over. Yes, but what I want to ask is the government's the collective response there. What do you think should be done, not just on the part of the government, but on the part of everyone, political party leaders included, in working hand in glove with the government as a way of really combating this pandemic there?
There's one thing I like about the combination of this pandemic. Everybody's bringing their quota. GAP is bringing their quota. GDC is bringing their quota. All the political parties, including the president and the individuals that bring their quota, you understand, there's only to unite. Well, let's not politicize it. The rights that they brought, we have local governments and councillors. Yes. Councillors, right? Yes. They should be, even though they're in the different political parties, they are the council of the region, yes, or the constituency. They should the one be separating it. Are you with me? So it's like the president is driving us. Huh? The constituencies and the local government and the council and the mayors around that cities, they should the one distributing, they should be distributing those rights. That's what we call collective. Mayoress Rahilo, she sent me a link. Let's help the blind. He said, let me share on my timeline. And I said it. She's a UDP member. I'm GAP. But that thing, that link is about the Gambia. I will share it and share it 1 billion times so that we can help our blind people. That's what we call collective. Let's put our interests, individual interests aside and bring the Gambian interest. This is the problem we're having. The president is driving us. If the president called me, call all the secretary generals, I want to see you guys now for the pandemic, we will run to him. Like I'm urging Gambia, let's not call him an accidental president. If you call him an accidental president, that means you are insulting the eye of the God. God is the one who chooses a leader.
But God never voted. It is the people that vote.
The heart belongs to God. The chosen one is already to be chosen, my brother. So it's God who chose him and bring it inside the people. So if God, you want to tell me God made a mistake to making an accidental president? Hell no. It's been divined, pre-decreed. He's a president. Allah said he must be. We have to respect him for that. I'm not working with him. I will never work with him unless until he put the agenda of Gambia first. I'll work with any political party in Gambia here if you put Gambian interest first. I'll work with any individual, any individual who put Gambian interest. I'm now going to look at your butt, Mr. Njai. Everybody has butt. And look at your competency. Look, when you talk to me, you always talk. You interview me concerned about Gambia. If you start bringing other things within Gambia, I'll just walk away from you. Because it's not my concern. Huh? My brother, Africa is the richest continent. You go to the Amazon DRC every 30 minutes flight with all this pandemic global. There's flight leaving because they need the resources for the imperialists. Stop it. I know I'm a threat. They listen to me. I will die for Africa.
Let's also talk about some of the controversies that has dogged your party. What we've seen your presidential candidate, your battle axe for next year's election, making some comments that did not, against the army, of course, that did not go down well with the army. And what we have seen is that the party has come forward to defend him. Yeah, well, I think that he said. You are saying that his comments were blown out of proportion.
Yeah.
Is that the case?
The man, I listened to the interview with West Coast. 100%. I listened to the interview. The man didn't say anything that's tribalist. The only person he mentioned name is Masane Kinde, saying the leadership of Masane is not genuine. Reason known to him. But I told him, I talked to him, man, my presidential candidate is competent plus competent. Competent plus competent is called Lamin Bojang.
That's Lamin Bojang.
That's Lamin Bojang. His name is competent. The man is genuine. The man is straightforward. The man is anti-tribal. They misconstrued or misunderstood what he said. He never mentioned anything that's about against tribe.
What was he trying to
He was trying to tell people in reality, We are convict in the eyes of Allah. But when it comes to the constitution, when there is illegal, to coup d'etat is illegal. My brother, if you and I join hands together to overthrow President Barrow and we are caught, we are convict.
That's the high crime of
That's
treason.
high crime, treason. We should not be reinstated. We should be forgiven. It's up to the president to forgive, alhamdulillah, release, but to reinstate, look, it should
You
not.
find that quite disturbing.
That's disturbing. So, if the Gambia Armed Force, the Gambia Armed Force is ours. There is us, we are them. They are the one sacrificed their life to, so that me and I enjoy the AC. Bunjan Dabo is the one who reacted. Our presidential candidate never mentioned his name. Due respect to Bunjan Dabo. He's a Gambian citizen. I'll respect him. Whether he's a convict, non-convict, blind, non-blind, Muslim, non-Muslim, he's a Gambian, he's a human, I respect him. But when it comes to the ethical way of coding, he should respect it. He should not even talk. He should go command change. The PR will talk or invite our presidential candidate. They blow this proportion that when we said all the Mandinkas are the ones surrounded. That's a joke. It's not true. If that's true, I will stay myself away from him. Because this institution is registered based on no tribal, no religious, no nothing. We are registered for the interests of Gambia. So this, our presidential candidate never mentioned anything that concerns about tribalism. Or Mandinkas are the ones surrounded, or the Mandinkas are the ex-convict. That's not true. That's uncalled for. And I'm urging the Gambia Armed Force, we have love for you guys, man. You guys in uniform, we love both men and women. And everybody is born to make a mistake. But that's not true. And here, we don't want to talk about it again. Gambia Action Party have high regard for them. If they made a mistake or whoever construed the word there that we said it, nah, it's not true. It's not. It's invalid. And then if we offended anyone through our how you call it, through the interview, our flag bearer, on behalf of Secretary General and the party, we are apologizing. But whoever offended us too, you are forgiven. And may Allah grant us forgiveness.
I mean, where is your base, Gambia Action Party?
Our base is all over the world, man. Our base is all over the country
Because
too.
people have looked, but they have not really been able to see members of GAP, supporters of GAP. Well, do we have them around?
Our base is from Khartoum to Wulebana.
You're one of
the base. Seriously, the whole entire Gambia. When you say GAP, 1 year, it's like we've been here for ages, man. That's why there's no small party or big party. It's just the time frame. If you say UDP, for example, due respect, 22 years, they're longer than us. But there's no small party or big party there. Somebody registered $1 million with 10,000 signatures, you call it a small party?
It's not a small party. But we have seen one-man parties all over the world. I mean, if you have the wherewithal, the money, you can simply just go to IEC, maybe buy 1 or 2 people, 10,000 people, tell them that, okay, I'm going to do this for just come and be one of my criteria there, and then the IEC will register you. If 10,000 people, that's no base, you know.
My brother, if money will make you to be the president, or money to make you form a political party, there is certain people that I know here, Barrow won't be a president.
Those people would have become...
If money makes you president, that's the Barrow won't be. No. So it's not about money. It's about the masses. They love GAP. GAP is a threat. Because we are here just for the reality. My brother, 1 year, I'm consistent as a Secretary General. My interview from January 17 up to today is the same. We don't talk about people, we talk about visions, the betterment for the country. So what were they saying about our flag bearer, saying that his tribalist is comment about? No, that's not true. My brother Wolof said, ko ragal lo buga lol nga ragal moy lan mbolo xam nga bour mbolo la buga te mbolo ku am mbolo ko la ragal. GAP has the crowd.
The crowd is there.
The crowd is there.
Maybe slightly hidden from view, but they are nonetheless.
My brother, crowd is there. I'll give you, last year when we went to Jalambere, my brother, you don't see that crowd come. Crowd is there. We are doing our sport meetings. It's not about conveying, well, no, do your sport meetings. Tell them the reality. Gambians is saying, Operation Yali is in Gambia now. Operation Yali Kabejanja. Asiata Gambia signed it.
What will you, finally, what will you want your fellow political parties, I mean, parties that look low upon you, parties that think that, well, GAP is not a force to reckon with? What would be your warning?
Anyone, if they think, that's why I use if, any political party thinking GAP is, you are fooling yourself. We will never betray any political party. And we will work with any political party for the interest of Gambia. I'm urging Gambians, all the leaders, all the party leaders, all the secretary generals, all the citizens, let's put the Gambian interest first. And if we do that, that's what we call Operation Nyumom Sumbopa will succeed. But I'm telling you, my brother, I'm telling you, inshallah, in Ramadan, come next election, two things. GAP go solo, we blow. GAP go with unity government, we blow. The next government is GAP.
Mr. Bachili,
inshallah.
Thank you very much for speaking to us there.
Can I say one word?
Yes, you can go ahead.
Gambians, this one I'm talking in a local language, which is Wolof. The Malenyan, New Bugante, New Dimbalante, New Pawante, New Yeremante. The most solution. This is COVID-19. Mange gis kune kamunge try pour joxe dem nga bëgg after lolu COVID bi su démé ñu dimbalante nit su la ñëwé mu nok sa kër mu nok sa do gën lo ko ré dafa amut dimbalé ko suñ dimbalé lolu rek dama bëgg Gambians tamit ngeen gorlu ñu bugante because when we come into power you guys are the first. I'm not saying we cannot work with other foreigners or other corporate social responsible, but the interest is Gambia first and the Gambians are first. Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah.
Mr. Bachili, thank you once more. Thank you. That's Mr. Moussa Yali Bachili, Secretary General, Gambia Action Party, my guest for today. Thank you for being there. We'll be back tomorrow. Until then.
Quality is not a day's job, it's a daily job. That means it's a continuous journey of pursuing the best that can be obtained in a product or in a service. So in other words, quality cannot be left out in any business, be it a product that a company is providing or even a service that the company offers to the public, be it locally and even internationally. In continuation of the quality journey, that is to further strengthen the foothold of quality in the Gambia Standards Bureau, who have been partnering with the Youth Empowerment Project, and the ITC, who are the implementer agency of the Youth Empowerment Project Quality Management Component, a number of companies have submitted applications to have trainers attached to them in the form of coaches. And these coaches have been attached subsequently, and they have been providing guidance to various companies as to how they can promote the culture of quality, as well as how to make their products better.
Currently, we are the manufacturers of Lima full cream milk powder. We have a dynamic workforce of over 60 young Gambians. Prior to meeting the quality coaching team, we had a number of challenges. We had a lot of loose sachets, which led to huge losses, which we weren't able to quantify at that point in time. But after having met with the coaching quality team and through a series of induction processes that they put us through and activities, we were able to identify a technical issue with one of our machines, which was actually leading to the loose sachets that we were having, and we were able to quickly resolve that.
The main focus of quality is reducing defects, either in a product or in a service. So once you are able to reduce the defects, you reduce the losses, then you increase your output, and consequently the profits also go up.
Through their recommendations also, we were able to start using pallets for our finished goods, and overall they've just added value to us. And one key thing they've helped us to learn was that quality is a choice out of many alternatives.
We worked more on our data management. Like before, at the end of the production period, we used to record the number of production we have on each product at the closing time. But when they came, they give us an idea, like to do the hourly production record. Then every hour what number of packets you produce on 0.5 and 1.5. So if there is any delay, it will reflect on the records. Efficiency also improve because we learned something from them, like around the table where we slot the calf seeds. Before, many people were seated around the table. So when they came, they gave us an idea as to how to use our staffs in order to be able to be more efficient. So we implemented that. It improved the speed of the production.
We were facing challenges on our labels, and then we were also facing challenges on how we are going to measure our bottles.
Looking at their rate of production and then their interest that is being generated over the last year during the program, and then their processing system, it's been more efficient and then very productive as of now. Yeah.
We were using a local way of filling our bottles. We try to buy tank, and then we use that tank to fill our bottles in a civilized way. So they also help us in that. Quality is more than quantity.
So the focus is placed on both quality and safety, because in order to go beyond the national borders and be able to get the foreign exchange that we yearn for, then our products must be found to be fitted in order to be exported to European markets, the American market, and even within Africa.